Jesus the
a ile
Christ
a shwa
died
hore e tlebe sehlabelo sa bohle.
that he may become a
It is
sacrifice for all.
because
Kungoba,
e ne se bohle ba nang le bokgoni.
it was not all men who had the ability
Bokgoni ba dipudi le dinku
the ability to
le
offer goats and
dikgomo,
sheep and
haholoholo bafutsana.
especially those who are poor.
That's why
So there. So Bishop Zondo does not even understand why Jesus died. He thinks it was all about how much they could afford. Bishop Zondo is back, and this time I think he just got dangerous.
now ke batla dulang fase go bale scripture le na ke bua too much. A ko bale ba Hebrew chapter number 13 verse 8. Ha o soka e thola ke tla go balla. Jesus Christ
Jesus Christ
the same yesterday,
enguyizolo
today
namuhla
and forever.
kube naphakade.
Bala Malaki chapter number 3 verse 6.
Malaki 3:6.
He quotes that part. Leaves.
Ha o soka e thola ke a e bala.
I am the Lord, and I do not change.
E tlwele mo.
He even tells her, stop it there. I not read the rest of it.
I am the Lord, and I do not change.
Ke mang ya sa changing? Ha e ka be o na buile Job a etse mahlabelo fa bona ba hae, ha a fitla wena o changile.
If he spoke with Job to offer sacrifice for his children, when it gets to it, has he changed?
Hopola
Remember
hore lebaka leo Jesu Kriste
the reason Jesus the
a ile
Christ
a shwa
died
hore e tlebe sehlabelo sa bohle.
that he may become a
It is
sacrifice for all.
because
Kungoba,
e ne se bohle ba nang le bokgoni.
it was not all men who had the ability
Bokgoni ba dipudi le dinku
the ability to
le
offer goats and sheep
dikgomo,
and
haholoholo bafutsana.
especially those who are poor.
That's why the Bible says
Ingaki iBhayibheli
he
lithi,
came to the world
uze
but
emhlabeni,
yet to become poor.
kodwa kwamele ukuthi
Bishop Zondo is very confused about the Bible. I've said this many times. I'll keep saying it. You guys don't understand. This man doesn't know the Bible at all. At all. Like zero. So right now, he's just taken the passage of Jesus Christ came to die for those that, so that they may be poor. Now, he say earlier on, he says, no, Jesus came to die because there were people that, they might not be able to afford the sacrifices.
Jesus the
A ile
Christ
a shwa
died
hore e tlebe sehlabelo sa bohle.
that he may become a
It is
sacrifice for all.
because
Kungoba,
e ne se bohle ba nang le bokgoni.
it was not all men who had the ability
Bokgoni ba dipudi le dinku
the ability to
le
offer goats and
dikgomo,
sheep and
haholoholo bafutsana.
especially those who are poor.
That's why the
So there. So Bishop Zondo does not even understand why Jesus died. He thinks it was all about how much they could afford. This man doesn't know the Bible at all. It's like he's not even clear on that point. Like you're not clear on why Jesus died. It doesn't matter if you could afford or if you couldn't afford. He died for all because your sacrifice was worth nothing. Your sacrifice could not amount to the offense that strained the relationship between you and God. When you left God, you see? Now, this fits his prosperity gospel because prosperity gospel does not acknowledge their gospel. It denounces their gospel. Bishop Zondo thinks you could. Hey, you mandams. Our mandams are fitting things inside the. It had nothing. I repeat, it had nothing to do with whether you could afford. Bishop Zondo doesn't understand that. Jesus died because of that. He died so that those who could not afford said. But anyways, it allows him to make the claims that he's about to make.
Those who are poor.
That's why the Bible says
Ingaki iBhayibheli
he
lithi,
came to the world
uze
but
emhlabeni,
yet to become poor
kodwa kwamele ukuthi yena ahlupheke
so that the poverty stricken people
ukuthi abantu abashawo
can
ubumpofu
become rich.
bakwazi ukuceba.
ke a tsaya o mametse morutuwana potang TV mamela Zondo he
You have listened to that pastor who speak nonsense.
batho bane kaofela se baruti ba moruti wa o ke nna
All
fela
those people are not your
No problem. He says, these are not your pastor. Like me, I'm not your pastor. But let me tell you, the question is your pastor preaching the truth? The question is not who is your pastor. The question is your pastor teaching the biblical truth? You will have to answer for that one.
pastor. Your pastor is only bishop.
He must have seen that first video that we made. Okay. Bishop Zondo says, you should be okay. No, he actually continues actually.
Praise
Ithi lethani imihlatshelo yendumiso
unto the Lord.
kuNkulunkulu wethu.
Una le polelo ring angi
So let's get to the Bible.
ya tsebang sesolo kapa Sesotho pina eo reng o teng motho mo fe mic because wena o tsebe akere o tshwaretse mic o sa what about the not enough
Is
that's a
that
question
Bishop's wife? It would be my first time seeing Bishop's wife sitting in the service there in front. My first.
Ithi
anginakho kwanele ngizokunika uqobo lwami
ngamanye amagama anginako kwanele ngizopetsha ngaphezulu ngizothopa apha ngempilo yami.
Yeah, that song is not biblical. Simple as that. Don't justify things with. The song is not biblical. If that's what the song is saying, the song is not biblical. Continue.
La bagata botsotsi ya anginako kwanele
I don't have that is enough.
akere la o batla o patala motho
You only want to
Robon.
pay somebody.
I don't have enough man.
Akunako kwanele.
I can even come ke mpe ke tlo sebetsa ke kwale
Mina
sekolo se
ngiyeza ukuthi
a ke robona
ngizosebenza ngivalele
o tla tshwara
isikweleti.
bonyane be ke na le mbona ene ke tla botlatseletsa ka nna.
Take this, the little that I have, I'll add with my
The Bible says, even our best righteousness was as filthy rags. So, what is that worth? Continue.
O na le the little
unokuncane.
why mosadi wa na sna letho
Kungani
a na leng the little
onokuncane
a ilanka the little she had
athatha okuncane
a
nakho.
nehela ka ona
And gave
ene
with
Jesu
it.
a ka re ha ka ba re take it back
And Jesus akathi angakuthatha ekubuyisele emuva
because it's little
ngoba kuncane.
ene go yena
And
o
to
na
him,
sna nix
He had nothing
except that.
ngaphandle kwalokho.
Mara ha ka ba jwetsa Jesu
But you don't
o
tell
tlile a
Jesus.
tshwere ntho and that was the last
And lokhu bokugcina
a nehela ka nthwena
And she
a
gave with
tshepa
it.
modimo
and trusted the
gante ka
Lord.
monehelo o wa hao
Through his
o bula
offering.
molomo wa Jesu
He opened the mouth of Jesus.
monehelo wa hae
His
wa
offering
tsheka Jesu wa etsa gore Jesu a mo shebe.
made Jesus.
So, he's making a theological position for sacrificial giving into a church based on that particular example. The example that Jesus was giving of that was comparison to how much others were giving. He just showed that he doesn't understand salvation. Does he think you giving anything adds to error?
Jesus to look at her.
Jesu a mo recognize
And Jesus recognized her.
Jesus recognized us with our sinful self. You think giving money to Jesus will make God recognize you? That's Simon the Sorcerer theology. Go read in Acts.
o nana ke tlo etsa nna mo
Ukathi
I
ngizokwenzani?
came here gore lehodimo le recognize
Ngizile la ukuthi izulu lingibone.
ke tshwetse ntho eo
That's the reason I came.
Works salvation.
ke batla ka mora Paseka
I want after Easter.
ha ke feta plumhetting a tsheka ntšhebe
Uma ngidlula phambi komhedeni angibuke.
So he wants the material blessing so that others will envy him. Is that it? Azalan, this is what happens when you don't have the gospel. You stray into self-centered preaching. This is self-centered preaching. Now, if you're up for it, you just heard that self-centered preaching does not have the gospel. Because he thinks it's... Bazalani, that first clip right there should tell you everything you need to know. That first clip, maybe I should repeat it.
How so go thola ke a e bala?
This point here.
I am the Lord, and I do not change.
E tlwele mo. Ke mang?
I am
He what spoke with Job to offer sacrifice for his children.
Jobo a etse mahlabelo fa bona ba. Ha e ka be o na buile Jobo a etse mahlabelo fa bona ba hae. Ha fitla wena o tshentshile.
If he what spoke with Job to offer sacrifice for his children, when it gets to it, has he changed?
Hopola
Remember
hore lebaka leo Jesu Kriste
the reason Jesus the
a ile
Christ,
a shwa
died,
hore e tlebe sehlabelo sa bohle.
that he may become a
It is
sacrifice for all.
because
Kungoba,
e ne se bohle ba na le bokgoni.
it was not all men who had the ability
Bokgoni ba dipudi le dinku
the ability to
le
offer goats and sheep
dikgomo.
and
Haholo
cows,
holo ba futsana.
especially those who are poor.
That's why the Bible says
Ingakho iBhayibheli
he
lithi,
came to the world
uze
but
emhlabeni,
yet to become poor
kodwa kwamele ukuthi yena ahlupheke
so that the poverty stricken people
ukuthi abantu abashawo
can
ubumpofu
become rich.
bakwazi ukuceba.
So I'm playing that part again so that you can remember. Bishop Zondo does not understand the gospel. And if you don't understand what I mean, I feel sorry for you. Yeah, I really do pity you. We've tried our best to show you that there is no Bible there. Bishop Zondo doesn't understand it. We've tried our level best. So when who's still there thinking there's some theological, there is nothing there. Bishop Zondo does not even understand the reason why Jesus came. He thinks Jesus came so that, he can make it possible for your sacrifice to mean something. And for those ones also who could not do it. No, all of us doing it, even with all of us doing it, it would have still not been enough. So the gospel of prosperity under Bishop Zondo actually shows you that it doesn't have salvation. You are not saved. No, that's not me. That's what he just said. Now let's go to what does the Bible say in Hebrews chapter number 9. Angry read 13. Let me read 9. If the blood of bulls and goats and ashes, if it did purify of the flesh, how much more? Then it tells you the importance of Jesus' sacrifice. Made it all different. How much more the blood of Christ, who through the eternal spirit, this was not something you had to offer like the way Bishop Zondo is telling his followers to do. Offer, you must keep offering, even the little one that you have. How much more was that sacrifice that Jesus did worth? For this cause, he is the mediator of the new covenant. So which covenant are you speaking if he has already established the new covenant? And verse 16 then emphasizes, for where a testament is, there must be the death of the testator, who died for you to be giving offerings of dead animals to God, so that God will turn around and look at you so that people can envy you. Who died? Because if you are establishing a testament, if you are spilling blood, what testament is that for? Because the one that he established has already had its offering. Not knowing the Bible is a problem. It creates problems. And verse number 20 then says, this is the blood of the testament which God has enjoined. Now this is a warning also that if you are now spilling blood, which one are you joining yourself to? You have to read Hebrews chapter 13. But there is a verse there that I want you to note right here. Right here. It says, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. This is by this testament that Jesus has established. We receive the promise of eternal inheritance. Notice, by his sacrifice, not the one that you are supposed to make. It says, he's the mediator of the New Testament. By the means of death, the death that Jesus had. Your animal means nothing. If you did it, you just lost money. Should have just given me. for the redemption of the transgression that were under the first testament. So that which was, because he's using the Old Testament, Bishop Zondo is using the Old Testament. You see, that which was in the old was made perfect by Jesus. So which one are you doing? If Jesus made it perfect, which one are you doing? They which were called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. We have eternal inheritance. You can't bribe God. But because you don't understand the Bible, because you have chosen your own, because you have teachers that don't understand it, you yourself are lost. But don't say we didn't try. Anker? Yes, don't say we didn't try to reach you with this message. Don't say we didn't try to reach you with the message of the gospel while you are busy preaching your own. It's the Rick's Reality Show. We do daily Christian commentary videos. Bishop Zondo does not understand salvation. Period. You just heard it yourself.